Once again, welcome back friends. My name is Pranav Shukla and I welcome you all to my online tutorial. Today we are going for NCERT English class 10 and our today's concern is a chapter from the first flight, chapter number 4 from the diary of Anne Frank. As you all know, we already gone through the first part earlier and now this is the second part of the chapter. So let's have some recall. In the first part, we have seen the background of Anne Frank. Who's Anne Frank? What is the importance of her diary? What is the name of the diary? Why she needed to write the diary? She died at a very early age. She was a victim of the World War. She suffered a lot. She died of typhus fever in the Nazi concentration camp. Just to hide from Nazis in Amsterdam, in the office of her father, they hid for 2 years. And during these 2 years, in that secret annex, she has written this diary. As she did not have any true friend where she could express her thoughts, she decided to write the diary. But this diary became later a very important document that really describes and throws ample amount of light upon the facts of World War II. And there is a very honest documentation from the little girl. So in the first part we have discussed she tells us about herself, her family, and whatever the ups and downs she had gone through in the little age because of that World War effect and Nazi Aryan movement. So she introduces various characters from the family and also admits that she was not earlier quite comfortable to write the diary. Then she convinced herself and went for writing the diary. She calls her diary as Kitty. So the second part, we are now going for reading the pages from the diary, initial pages of the diary. So let's go for it, friends. I'm bringing you the textbook and we're going to read the pages from Annie Frank's diary. I just would like to tell you that she has kept certain names secret. They may be the name of her friends just to keep it private, just to maintain the privacy. So you have to bear with that. And very light-hearted description of the various incidents given in the diary. Just think from the point of view of the girl of 13 years of age. So you can understand still some maturity, some insight is seen over there. She especially describes the incident with maybe maths teacher, whatever. So that is quite interesting over there. So let's go for it. This is how she. You also have to learn the way the diary is written, especially the personal diary. It is starting with Saturday, 20 June 1942. It could be the title of the diary. Then the diary is addressed as she is talking to the diary. So it is just considered to be a friend. Otherwise, there is no need to address the diary writing like this. But she has done this. It is quite unorthodox. Now she says, "Dearest Kitty," she is telling her diary. "Our entire class is quaking in its boots." Is an idiom, shaking with fear or nervousness. She's describing the time when they were supposed to be given their report card annual, and she describing the condition of the whole class. Situation is very interesting. You might relate it with you also. The reason, of course, is the forthcoming meeting in which the teachers decide who will move up to the next form and who will be kept back. एक लाइन में कहिए तो teacher was about to announce the result. Half the class is making bets. GN and I laugh. GN is the abbreviation of a very close friend of Annie. GN and I laugh ourselves silly at the two boys behind us. Normally, boys are not good at studies. That is thought by the girls, and somewhere they are also right. But here, these two girls are actually making fun of the boys, namely CN and Jackass. One name is kept secret, and another one is revealed over there. They might not be having some issue with that. So this CN and Jackass were stacked, put at risk their entire holiday savings on their bet. They have already had gone for bet who will pass and who will not. From morning to night, this kind of statements are quite often. This is what the students are actually talking when the result is about to be announced. So what is it? From morning to night, it is you're going to pass. So somebody says, no, I'm not. The other says, yes, you are. Again, no, I'm not. So this kind of arguments and counter arguments are very obvious at the time of result. Even G's pleading glances and my angry outburst. Pleading glances means as if she is requesting to get some favor by only gesture. And my angry outburst, angrily, the way she shouts and show the kind of angry gestures, can't even calm them down. Those who are worried and arguing about the results, she's talking about them. If you ask me, there are so many dummies that about a quarter of the class should be kept back. But teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. So in this line, she tries to say that there are so many dumb and faulty students who not work hard, and if you just consider them, so they can be failed, they can be kept back in the same standard. But anyways, teachers are checking the papers, and the way they check papers, they always are unpredictable. So very ironically, she says teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on the earth. Well, they cannot predict the result until it comes to them physically. I'm not so worried about my girlfriends and myself. Not that kind of girlfriend and boyfriend, but as there were boys also in the class. So she's talking about only girls. And she knew that she's quite sure that girls will make it. The only subject I'm not sure about is maths. Maths is always uncertain for anyone. It is universal fact and will remain universal up to the end of the time. Anyway, all we can do is to wait. Until then, we kept telling each other not to lose our don't get disappointed, don't lose the hope, etc., etc. Giving courage to everyone, to each other, to one another. I get along pretty well with all my teachers. Now she talks about why she is not so confident about maths, because she never had good rapport with a math teacher. So now topic shifts to her bond with the teachers, especially with the math teacher. There are 9 of them, 7 men, like male teachers, and 2 women. Mr. Keesing, what kind of person he was? The old, foggy, old-fashioned, orthodox, conservative kind of person who teaches maths. Math teachers normally are like that. Was annoyed with me for ages because I talk so much. There is exaggeration, hyperbole. Well, he's always remained very much annoyed with Anne because she is very much talkative. After several warnings, he assigned me extra homework punishment. What is the punishment? An essay on the subject, a chatterbox. This subject was intentionally given just to have her reflect upon what she's doing. That is a nice way to make somebody realize what they are doing. So it's a nice homework punishment given to her, just to introspect into her. A chatterbox. What can you write about that? Perhaps she was clueless what to write. I would worry about that later, I decided. I jotted down the title in my notebook, wrote down, tucked it in my bag. वो सिर्फ ऊपर नाम लिख लिया, टाइटल लिख लिया, फिर वो बैग में रख दिया, बाद में करेंगे. So pushed very rejectedly in my bag and tried to keep quiet. She is now musing what to do. That evening, after I had finished the rest of my homework, the note about the essay caught my eye. Matlab, she now again reminded of that particular thing to herself, that I have to write down that essay. I began thinking about the subject while chewing the tip of my fountain pen. Normally, that's what we do. This is how we write down, and something like that. Something. She's thinking. Anyone could ramble on and leave big spaces between the words. Matlab, there is an idea. Okay, if you really want to fill the pages and submit the homework, you can just leave the spaces between letters and characters, and you can just ramble over there. You can just talk and write aimlessly, anything up to any length. But that is bluffing, especially to the teachers. She was quite honest and didn't really want to do that. But the trick was to come up with convincing arguments to prove the necessity of talking. But she really wanted to prove the teacher by writing down the topic in her own way. And in that way, in this essay, she really wanted to write down that talking is very good and is very necessary. So tables would be turned upon the teachers. That's what she planned over there. So she really wanted to write it down. I thought, and suddenly I had an idea. I wrote 3 pages Mr. Kissing had assigned me and was satisfied with me myself. I argued that talking is a student's trait, is a student's quality. They are born to talk, and this quality is inherent into them, and that I would do my best to keep it under control. So, very sarcastic in that essay she is. But I would never be able to cure myself of habit, since my mother talked as much as I did, if not more, and that there is not much you can do about inherited traits. Well, here she argued that I've got the habit of talking from my mother. It is inherited into me, and one cannot do anything about inheritance. જે વારસામાં મળ્યું છે, બ્લડમાં મળ્યું છે, what can you do about that? So she couldn't help it. That's what she said over there. Mr. Keesing had a good laugh at the arguments. He found it very smart move from Anne Frank, and took it as a laugh. But when I proceeded to talk my way through the next lesson, he assigned me a second essay, another punishment. She never stopped talking. This time it was supposed to be on an incorrigible chatterbox. The kind of chatterbox which cannot be corrected. Is a bad quality, basically, that cannot be corrected. It is an impossible case. That's what she is to write. I handed it in. Again she wrote, and Mr. Keesing had nothing to complain about for 2 whole lessons. She kept herself quiet for 2 lessons. But again, however, during the 3rd lesson, I had finally had enough. And Frank, now he speaks angrily, as punishment for talking in class, write an essay entitled "Quack, Quack, Quack," said Mistress chatterbox. Quack quack, as you know, is the sound of duck, and the known for persistent sound of quacking. So one who talks so much persistently is compared with duck, and their side is quacking. She's like duck and quacking over there. So it was a laugh for the whole class. The class roared. I had to laugh too. Well, she also couldn't help laughing it, though I had nearly exhausted my ingenuity. Well, she was worried what to write. Whatever the ingenuity, that originality, innovativeness that she had regarding the topic of chatterbox, she had just put in all those, in both that previous essays earlier given as punishment. Now what to write? So the topic of chatterboxes, it was time to come up with something else, something original. So now she decided to do something really different and give a kind of pleasant shock to Mr. Keesing. So my friend San, who's good at poetry, offered to help me write the essay from beginning to end in verse. One of the would be kind of poetry, prose poem, essay in verse, in the poetry form. And I jumped for joy. That is a very different and innovative idea. Mr. Keesing was trying to play a joke on me with his ridiculous subject, but I would make sure the joke was on him. Well, she decided to again turn the table upon the teacher. I finished my poem and it was beautiful. It was about a mother duck and a father swan. That's what she described. That is the theme of the poetry. With 3 baby ducklings, the young one of duck, who were bitten to death by father because they quacked too much. Well, here she is trying to sarcastically realize him that his teachers like father, and when teacher stops students talking, ruin their real spirit, is like killing his own children, the way the father swan did to the ducklings. So it is very harsh and wicked and cruel to stop her talking. This is what she really wants to convey to the maths teacher. It could have been taken, if I were at the place, I would have taken it very, very harshly and very, very badly. But Mr. Keesing luckily took the joke the right way. He read the poem to the class, adding his own comments, and to several other classes as well. It was appreciated. It was innovative. He took it very lightly. So, in a way, Anne Frank was spared by luck. Since then, I have been allowed to talk and haven't been assigned any extra homework. On the contrary, opposite to that, Mr. Keesing's always making jokes these days. She was capable to change even the teacher's nature by taking the entire thing very lightly and very funnily. She kept her cool and calm and never lost her temper. So this is what the maturity of that girl. So this is the first page of the diary written by Anne Frank in the diary of a young girl. So many more pages are there. Somewhere, if you just get some chance, you better go through this book. It is world's most read book. So one of the most read books. So it would be a pleasure to read it. So I'm sending you the question answer very soon. And if you just have some doubts, can come up to me. Hope you enjoyed. We'll soon meet for the next chapter. Thank you very much, friends.